Screenplays, the blueprint for painting with light. Filmmaker Jean-Luc Godard said, "Cinema is the most beautiful fraud in the world." Let me ask you guys a question. How many times have you watched a movie based on a book you loved, but were completely disappointed by the film version? Today, I want to share with you a few film secrets that may change how you watch movies, and talk about what makes a movie so different from a book, and why it's a challenge to turn books into films. I've been working in the entertainment industry for the last 30 years. These days, I focus mainly on the art of screenwriting. I've completed 5 feature-length screenplays, script doctored, mentored other writers, and I've been fortunate enough to have my work win awards and be optioned for development. Further, I bring my years of experience as a professional actor, director, producer, and production crew member to bear on my writing for film. Now, although you don't need to know how to bake a cake to enjoy a slice, sometimes knowing how a thing is made can add much to the enjoyment of the experience. Now, if you love movies, this may be a unique first insight into how your favorite entertainment has been created. And if you don't like movies, well, understanding the process of screenwriting can change how you watch a movie, and maybe even how you read your next book. Screenplays require a story to fit within a very specific time frame, usually 120 minutes. Whereas a book is virtually free to be as long or as short as it takes to tell the tale. Movies follow a definite 3-part structure, whereas books are not constrained to such structural limitations. In a book, we have the luxury of revealing all manners of unseen information, such as thoughts, emotions, sensory experiences, and history or backstory. In a film, one may only write what can and will be seen in the film. Thus, not all stories and books make a good movie. The heart of the movie is the screenplay. The screenplay is an exacting blueprint for making a movie. So, while a book author writes their story until it's told, the commercial screenwriter must construct his story to fit within 90 to 120 pages. See, each page representing roughly a minute of screen time. The page count reveals to the experienced filmmaker the talent and the ability of the screenwriter to work within the industry standards and parameters of the medium. Unless you're a proven screenwriter who can do as they like, you must prove to your audience, in this case, producers and directors, that you understand the mechanics of a screenplay by creating your blueprint correctly. I've literally seen development people pick up a script, flip to the last page, and if there's a page 121 or higher, refuse to read the screenplay. Now let's talk about the most important rule of screenwriting. You may not write anything in a screenplay that is not actually seen on the screen. Let me repeat that. You may not write anything in the screenplay that you cannot actually see in the film. Due to the very nature of film, which is watched rather than books, which we read and then which we visualize in our mind as we do that, screenwriters have to show, not tell their story. Let me give you an example. In a book, you may write, "John sits at the kitchen table and drinks his morning coffee. The smell of instant Sanka fills his nostrils and takes him back to his boyhood. John sees his father by the stove with a steaming mug of Sanka coffee, tipping it at the boy as one would offer a toast." Great scene, right? However, if I want this to be a scene in my movie, I have some problems I have to deal with. First, we need to see what's actually in John's cup. What is he drinking? So I'll have to write an action block. That is a 4-line or less paragraph that describes what we'll see in the film, a shot of the contents of John's cup. I cannot see what John is smelling, so again, I need a visual reference, such as John leans close to his cup. He inhales deeply and smiles. We can't know it's Sanka unless I have a visual shot of a bottle of Sanka. And most importantly, we cannot know what John's thinking. So in order to show that, I need to have a flashback that shows John's memory of his father in real time. You guys getting the idea? Well, in a book, of course, I can describe these things in as much detail as I like. But in my film version of the thing, I have to just show it. Now that we've looked under the hood of a movie, and we've discovered the importance of the time constraints and the show, don't tell aspects of a screenplay, I would like to conclude with this. Films are a magical combination of evocative images that follow the peaks and valleys of the three-part structure of a hero's journey. In order to truly appreciate the importance of visual storytelling in cinema, remember this: many of the greatest films in history move you without dialogue, but no book was ever published that did not have words. So remember that every film is a painting in light, which can only exist by following the blueprint of the screenwriter.